Yeah. Sir, good afternoon. Am I audible, sir? Abhay, sir?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you are
sir.
audible, sir.
Okay, thank you so much,
You're
sir.
absolutely audible.
There is Dr. Himanshu. Good afternoon, sir. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir. So,
Oh, nice to see.
not being delaying, we
Okay,
have with us,
right,
dear
sir.
participants, we have with us
Okay.
one of the great resource person of India,
Oh my
Surjit
goodness.
sir. And without delaying, I'll request him to start the session. Sir,
Yes, sir.
please start.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Right, sir.
Thank you.
Have the sharing rights. Yes, I do have the sharing. Just 1 minute. Right. Good afternoon to all the respected, learned teachers, principals, vice principals who are present in this particular platform. And definitely, good afternoon to our Dr. Himanshu Pandey, sir. My friend, my co-resource person, my co-principal, and the gentleman who paved the way for me to become a resource person. Sir, once again, I would like to tell everybody that if on that faithful day of June 2018, if you were not there at Ranchi, then lot many good things would not have happened. So, sir, it is all because of your trust on me that yes, I can do it. You showed me the way to become a resource person.
All because of your capabilities.
Going forward. So let's begin the program and let's move forward. Insight Learning is the organization which is bringing this program to you. It's a small organization being made by me and a few of my core principals and resource persons. So Insight Learning in association with Aryavarta Sahodaya School Complex Patna presents achievement tests and drafting test items. This is our training program or our online session today. Asserting the quality and quantity of learning. Now, respected teachers, definitely you all will agree with me because that's what we all do, is that our system of education in our country is like we have an academic session. The academic session is divided into 3 parts or maybe 2 parts according to the councils, the boards. Okay, some have term 1, term 2, term 3 like that part. Some have midterm and final term. Like we in CBSE schools, we follow midterm and final term. So we have a certain period of time. During that term, we go on teaching the children. The teaching learning process continues. And after that, for a few days, say 10 to 15 days, we go for an exercise to find out exactly how much the students have learned and how much work we have done. And that is what everyone looks for. Parents, schools, teachers, the country also. What is the result? So that's it, what we call as achievement test. We go for to find out how much they have achieved. And this is a very important very important training program because many of us, in spite of having all the knowledge, sometimes find in ourselves in gray areas and dark areas how to work with these achievement tests, how to make the test items, what are these test items, what we should do, what we should not do. So this is what we will going to discuss today. That is why it is saying asserting the quality and quantity of learning. Quality means how much the students have learned and what is the standard of their learning and how much we have given. Unlike in other countries, the system is a bit different. Maybe at the end of the program, Himanshu sir will be able to give us some highlights on this one, because sir is a well-traveled man. He has traveled many countries and he has seen the education system of many countries. He has been to Finland, to Norway, to Denmark, to China, Taipei. So sir knows more about the international scenario. I hope he will give us some ideas, but right now we will see our internal Indian scenario. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, all of you know my name. My name is Mr. Shurojit Sen. Sir has already told. I am a registered CBSE resource person, and that's all. Not too much to talk about me. Let's start. Assessment and evaluation, they play a very vital role. They play a very, very vital role and a very important role in teaching learning process. We always call it as a teaching learning process, because we are teaching at the same time we are also learning. Teachers should be concerned about the students' learning. What is our main duty? We should be concerned about the students' learning and diagnosis of their weakness and inadequacies. See, respected teacher, it is not only that we will go inside the classroom, we will give our lectures, blah, 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 and come out. We should be concerned about their learning, and we should also do a diagnosis, like the doctors do a diagnosis to find out what exactly is the weakness of the patient. In the same way it is, we also diagnose the students to find out their weakness, their inadequacies, and also in instructional strategies. If there is any weakness in our instructional strategies, if there is any weakness in their inadequacies in our strategies for bringing about improvement in their learning, then mere assessment of their achievements. So assessment and evaluation, once again, let us say, it plays a very vital role, very important role in the teaching learning process. It helps us to find out how much our students have learned, what are their weaknesses, what are their inadequacies. At the same time, what is the problem with us in our instructional strategies, how to bring about improvement. So it's not just a mere assessment of their achievements. It's not like, okay, at the end of the term, we will just take a test or something like that, and the child has scored this. This is the condition of the child. No, it's not like that. We have to move more beyond this. And that is why you will find that NEP 2020 is very clearly stating that assessment will now be done through critical analysis rather than just a mere assessment. Main purpose of, what is the main purpose of this testing? Okay, whatever I have said, the points are given over there. What are the main purpose of why we go for this testing? First of all, to determine the achievement level and progress of pupils. Yes, that is the most important one. That is the first one and the most important one. This is what we all look for, to determine the achievement level. Because parents, at the end of the session, when they will come to collect report cards from you, they will ask the first question, मास्टर जी बच्चे कितना नंबर लाया है, ये सुनो, और पिछले एग्जाम से अभी कितना है ये बताइए, बाद बाकी तो हम बाद में समझेंगे. No, this is the common saying of parents, and it's like that. So first, to determine the achievement level and progress of pupils. Second, to obtain data for diagnostic purpose. So first part, we have told the parent this is their achievement level, and that is where. Second, whatever test we conduct, we always maintain a data for diagnostic purpose. Like suppose if there are inadequacies, if there are weakness, if there are some shortcomings, we can easily get from the data. We conduct the test, whether the child's spellings, whether the students have a problem with the spellings or with the grammar or with the placement of the words or writing the answer. So all this will give us a diagnostic tool to help us to do it better next time. Okay, to identify interest of students. Now see, we have different students with different thinking, with different liking towards the subject. So in the school, we can understand exactly where the child is facing towards. Some may have knack for the science part, some may have knack for the arts part, some may have knack for something else. So it gives us or helps us to identify the interest of the student. That's very important. Schools should and must find out the interest of the students. So if वो क्या बोलते हैं, रोबोट बनाने का स्कूल हमारा सब नहीं है। हम रोबोट नहीं बनाते, हम इंसान तैयार करते हैं और ये देखते हैं कि उनमें वो सारे बच्चे को किसमें ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है, उनको किस कौन सब्जेक्ट का ऊपर उनका प्यार ज्यादा है, ये हमें देखने का मौका। To identify underachievers, those who are unable to do it at that particular moment, we can get an idea about them also, so that we can take actions on them, isn't it? To identify the self-concept, attitude, and personality. Yes, another important. To identify self-concept. Okay, we have taught the children according to the book, according to our knowledge and all. But you will find there are in each and every class, in each and every school across the country, there are always some gifted students who will have their own concept of that particular matter which we have to. They are saying everything correctly, but their concept, their ideas, their way of thinking, placing and everything is quite different. And these are the, what you call, the super achievers. These are the gifted students. These, what sometimes we call them as, maybe I'll not use the word genius right now, but well, something like that. So that also, that through this we can get an idea about their self, how much their attitude towards their teaching, towards their learning process. Attitude over here shows how they are placing whatever they have learned to us. Their presentations. Some students you will find they give beautiful answers in very unique way. You all are, many of you must be correcting the CBSE board exam papers, and there you will find students who are, they write so beautifully, you just don't feel like putting your pen across the paper. In my life, I have seen many such students. In your life, so that shows the attitude. And some are there who are not able to present the paper properly. So there is always the opposite sides of each, and their personality. From the students' writing point of view, from the students' presenting point of view, from the students' self-concept, we can clear-cut get a personality pattern of the students. What type of student? What is the student's thinking? How he is bringing or she is bringing the things out. So that personality of the student can also be understood through this assessment test. You can identify the gifted students, the students who have unique way of delivering things, which I have been talking so far, to improve learning techniques. And we also see, we cannot put everything into the student's code. No, we also have to take something in our code also. If there are certain shortcomings, then we have to understand that there must be something wrong in my teaching process, and how I can improve the teaching techniques, how I can improve the learning techniques. If the teaching techniques are improved, the learning techniques will always improve. There is a saying that, which I have told previously also when I conducted my training program on smart teachers make smart schools, that good teaching leads to better learning and best retaining. So if we teach properly, they will learn in a much better way. And if they learn better, they will remember the things for a long period of time, maybe forever. And that is what is our main target. So these are the main purpose of testing. Quickly, we'll just to determine the achievement level and progress of pupils, to obtain data for diagnostic purpose, to identify interest of the student, to see how much they are interested, in which part they are interested, subject they are interested, to identify the underachievers, the ones who are not able to achieve, to identify the self-concept, attitude, and personality of the student we can get it, to identify the gifted students, to improve their learning techniques, and to improve the teaching techniques. How we can improve our teaching techniques. Okay, so these are the main purpose of this testing. Let us see what we still have next. Achievement test. What is it? Okay, achievement, what exactly it is? This is a device of measurement. Achievement test is a device of measurement. Now, this first definition that I am reading right now, it is the common man's definition, your definition, my definition. It's not an expert's definition. Okay. So this is a device of measurement that helps in ascertaining the quality and quantity of learning in the subject or group of subjects after a period of instruction by measuring the present day ability of the individual concerned. In a very simple way, it is a process by which we try to find out how much a student has learned and what is his percentage of learning. While these two famous educationalists, Moon and Lindqvist, they have given a technical version of this, and that is a general achievement test is one designed to express in terms of single score of students' achievement in a given field of achievement. A student single score achieved in a given field of achievement. Say, for example, we have a question paper which is say 100 marks, full marks we say 100 marks. Now, on that, how much the student has achieved. That is what achievement test is according to Moon and Lindqvist. But according to common man like you and me, after a certain period of time, we teach the students and we try to find out how much they have achieved. So this is the definition, and we must know this also. Technical terms should be known to us. The objectives of achievement test. First, we have seen the purpose, now the objectives. What is our target? What is our objective? So first, to judge the competency of teachers and also emphasis on his or her teaching methods. What is the objective? The school will also conduct the tests in order to judge the competency of how much the teacher is competent enough to teach that particular subject in that particular classroom. So to judge the competency of the teachers and also emphasis on his or her teaching methods, to give more power to the teaching methods. Second, to realize the degree of understanding, comprehension achieved by the students. How much the student has understood. You will find there are, I have seen in my life also, you people have also seen, Himanshu sir has also seen, I have seen many high-fi qualified teachers, lot of degrees, this, that, but when it comes to make the student understand, they fail to do so. So this achievement test also helps us to find out how much the teacher is capable of making the student understand, how much the students can comprehend from the teacher's point of view of teacher's teaching. To offer a chance to the students to apply the knowledge gained by them in a new situation. Okay, we go for achievement test to find out, to give them a chance so that whatever knowledge they have received within a certain period of time, how they are applying those knowledge, or how they are presenting or keeping that knowledge within themselves. Retaining quality of the students is also ascertained from these achievement tests. Okay. Then to test various skills achieved by the students like drawing, observation, etc. See, whenever we conduct tests, we just don't only ask them to write in words. No, sometimes we look for just a minute. अभी नहीं, हम 4:30 बजे के बाद हम ट्रेनिंग में बैठे होंगे, ठीक है? Okay. To realize the degree of understanding, comprehension achieved by the student, that I have already said, to offer a chance to the students to apply the knowledge gained by them in new situation. See, we teach them for a certain period of time. By that time, they gain some knowledge. We make them understand it. After understanding, they try to comprehend it. After comprehend, they try to get some knowledge. You have studied all about Bloom's taxonomy, and so then how they, whatever they have gained that knowledge, how they are applying that knowledge in a new situation when a test is conducted or an examination is conducted, to see whether they are really capable of doing it or not. Then to test various skills achieved by the students like drawing, observation. See, whenever we conduct tests, we just not only ask them to write. No, we look for illustrations, we look for their presentations, we look for their usage of words. So, and usage of different type, different meanings and other things. So to garnish their answers. So all this gives us the idea about the skills that the students have also achieved during their learning process. And also to identify the subject matter which the students have difficulty in comprehending. Okay, maybe the student is good in a particular subject, may not be so good in the other subject, or maybe in the same subject the student is good in one particular part of the curriculum, one particular part of the subject, but he or she may not be that good. So that also will give us an idea about the students, how they are facing their difficulty level and how we can remove them. So these are the objectives of conducting a test or achievement test. Okay, please remember these things. These are the ones that we generally look for. Now, next is the type of test. What are the types of tests that we generally have? In our country, we generally go through these two types of tests. One is a standardized test. One is a standardized test. A standardized test is the one in which the procedures, apparatus, and scoring a fixed number so that the same test can be given at different times and different places. So, a standardized example, the board exams. The board exams are standardized tests. Throughout the country, CBSE is conducting the same type of examination, the same method, the same questions, the same pattern, the same full marks. And this is fixed. And whether the student is from Kerala or the student is from Kashmir or whether the student is from Nagaland or from Gujarat, everywhere the situation is same. Okay, so this is a standardized test. And we have a teacher-made test, which is the most interesting test. The teacher-made test, the test which you make, the test which I make, the test that which all the teachers across the country make. This is prepared by the teachers themselves. There is no such fixed rules and regulation for this. The teacher prepared this test by their own self. This is concerned with limited and specific field of knowledge or ability of performance. Means what? Suppose you have taught a particular part of the chapter or a particular chapter you have taught. Say, let us for example say the science teachers have taught the chapter this life processes. Fine. Now the teacher want to conduct a test exclusively on the urinary system, on the urinary tract. The teacher wants to test about the kidneys, about the bladder, about the ureters, so on and so forth. So this becomes what? A limited part. Okay. The teacher is looking to that, is focusing to that particular part and wants to see whether the student have got this knowledge or not. Sometimes we call it as normal class test, sometimes we call it as Monday test, Wednesday test, and the teacher has the freedom to conduct these types of, and these are the most unique tests. Small tests we conduct. We compel the students to study that part and get complete idea and knowledge about it so that they can retain them forever. This is one of the best things that happens in the schools across our country. All of you are doing it, and I hope again you will also do it. Excuse me. What's the next one? Now, the steps involved in achievement test. In order to conduct an achievement test, in order to make a test, what are the steps you have to follow? What are the steps? First of all, determining the purpose. First, you have to determine the purpose of the test. Why you are conducting the test? What is the purpose? What is the reason behind it? What benefits you will get it? So that's why first you have to conduct the purpose of the test. Whether it is a unit test, whether it is to test the knowledge, whether it is a pre-board examination, whether it is a terminal test, you have to give the result, you have to so there is a purpose for the test. So first we have to determine the purpose. Second, developing test specifications. How many questions, what type of questions, and selecting and preparing the test items. Test items over here means the questions that we will put. Okay. Now, different types of test items are there. We have different types of test items. According to our CBSE curriculum, which is given by NCERT, and the one that we all follow is, in this we have this type of a situation. We have very short answer questions. Although many schools till class 8 follow their own standard, but CBSE has made a standard which is for all, and this is like this. We have very short answer questions, a test. We have short answer question. There's a difference between very short answer and short answer. Okay, I will discuss about this a little later. And we have long answer questions. And nowadays we are, actually it was there, then it stopped for some time, but it is now back with a bang. It is multiple choice questions. Very powerful what you call test item to find out exactly how the students are studying. So once again, steps involved in achievement test are what? First, to determine the purpose of the test. why you are conducting the test, what is the big deal about conducting it. If we don't conduct, what will happen? So, purpose. Developing the specifications. What type of test I will conduct, how many questions will be there, what will be the different marks, the allotment for each, so on and so forth. And selecting and preparing the test items. You have to select the test of the questions. From this part, we will select this much. From that part, we will select this much, so on and so forth. And the different types of test items that we follow in our CBSE affiliated schools are, we follow very short answer questions, long answer questions, and multiple choice questions. Okay, we'll discuss about it in detail. Drafting test items. Now, so far we are discussing about achievement test. Now we are coming to the second part of it, that is drafting test. Each one is both are linked with each other. Okay, both one are interlinked with each other, because just a minute. The task or questions that are used to construct tests and examinations are referred to as items. Don't take anything else over here. Just remember this. Okay. The task or the questions that are used to construct tests and examinations are referred to as items. And the range of techniques involved in preparing those items are collectively referred to as item writing or drafting test items. Okay, so the questions which are used to construct the test of the examination, we call them as items. So henceforth, remember, the technical term of the question is actually item. And the process and the way we prepare it, we collectively refer to is either we call it as item writing or drafting test item. Okay, these are all academic technical points to be noted down. The basic test item that we generally follow, the basic test item is fundamentally a stimulus response pair. Yes. It's a stimulus response, the basic a test item. No, we all talk about now that response to stimulus. In biology we have studied. In a stimulus is applied to you and you respond to it. Like suppose by chance if you touch something hot, immediately you remove your hand from there. No, that is a response to stimuli situation. The same way over here. Okay. Response to stimuli, response stimuli pair in form of a question and or assignment. We ask a question or we give an assignment to the students. That is actually the stimulus, and the examinee provides a response by giving us the answer. And by getting that answer, we determine the proper score, interpretation, and decision for action. So a question, which is like a stimulus, is applied to the students. In response to it, they give us an answer. And we have the quality to determine what should be the proper score for that, what we interpret from it. See, when we will score it, before that, we go for an interpretation to know whether this score is enough for this or not. And we also take a decision, and then finally action is taken. This is what question answer situation is. And we should always remember that there should be a balanced selection of test items for any type of exams. Yes, respected teachers, you all know this. Those who are very senior teachers who are here in this platform today for a long period of time in the education sector, they know this very well. A question paper should always be a balanced one. It should never ever be a disbalanced one. You know, many of us have this type of feeling. I will make a very tough paper and I will show the students what a great teacher I am. But it's not like that. It's a wrong process. It's a wrong process. Questions should always be in a balanced form. Otherwise, what will happen, you know? Respected teachers, just with a pinch of salt, we have to take this. And I with due respect to the entire decorum, I'd like to tell you one thing. No matter how good teacher you are, no matter how brilliant teacher you are, no matter how sincere teacher you are, no matter how honest teacher you are, if your students don't pass, you are nothing. And from my personal experience, I'll tell you, when I first joined as a teacher, when I started in my teaching days, I made a very tough paper. And I was boasting in the staff room in front of my colleagues, क्या paper बनाया हजाम, बच्चे तो हिल नहीं सकता है. When the result came out, my principal was telling me, what is this? Is this what you are doing in the class? I said, ma'am, I tried my best, and I see my questions are very high-fi questions. Mr. Sen, listen very carefully. If your students don't pass, you are nothing. And I still remember that. So that's what exactly we mean to say. It should be a very, very balanced question paper. It should be an answerable paper. There should be some questions which we have in our CBSE. Some of the questions are of very high standard, which once upon a time we used to call as HOTS. And we have questions which are very easy also, and we have questions in the middle range. This is how an examination question paper should be made. Okay, so let's move forward. Drafting test items. Now, how to make questions, how to make the questions, what are the things we need to know, and what are the benefits we'll get out of it. Okay, so CBSE question paper will consist of 3 types of short answer questions. Now, this is the general one. Okay, many schools may not follow this, but can also follow this. But 9, 10, 11, 12 is same. Up to 8, we have the freedom. We have very short answer questions of 1 mark. Now, what is this? I will talk about it. Okay. Then we have short answer question type 1. Short answer question type 1, which consists of generally 2 marks. And we have short answer question type 2, which consists of 3 marks. Now, very short answer questions are those which have one specific response and only one answer also, and can be marked quite objectively. So very short answer questions, which may be a 1-word answer or maybe only one answer. There may not be multiple answers for that. Say, for example, if a question comes like this, what is the capital of India? The answer is New Delhi, and that is a very, very specific response and only one response. No other answer will become a correct answer. In some cases, we may have 2, 3 different answers for the same question, but for some question, it is only, and this is the purpose of finding out the specific response. And can be marked quite objectively. More content can be tested through these questions, and more reliability and validity can be ensured. You know, when these types of questions, many have a feeling, 1 more question, it's nothing. You pad lenge ho jayega. It's not like that. Here, the student have to study deep, have to go deep into the matter. They have to understand everything very clearly. And then only they can give the correct answer. And that is what we are looking for. That is what we are looking for. We want to see whether the students have gone deep into the matter. Quantity of studying we are discussing. You remember quantity of studying? This is where we will get how much they have studied. So 1-word answers are very, very important, very specific, very clear-cut answers. And if the question is of 1 mark and it is written 1 word or within a sentence, it has to be within that. If a student for a 1 mark question writes 5 lines about it, you have the freedom to cut it off. That means the student has not learned. He is just beating around the bush. To these goods, and more reliability and validity can be ensured that yes, the student has studied properly. Very, very important. These questions help in testing examinee's knowledge by asking to supply a word, a phrase, figure, or as a sentence, or a sentence as an answer. It should be not as a sentence, it should be a sentence. So through these questions, we test the examinee's knowledge by asking them simply 1 word. 1 word means 1 word. But nothing to be. Or maybe we'll ask for a phrase. Generally, this we generally ask for English language papers and English literature papers, question papers, sometime in social science also. or as a sentence as an answer. Maybe it can be said that you can write it within a sentence, not more than that. Very short answer one can be used effectively in all school subjects. Even in mathematics also nowadays we have very short answers. Because mathematics is not just a subject to solve the problems. Mathematics is a subject where we should get enough knowledge about the subject. And our trends are changing with mathematics also, where the textbook needs to be studied and items needs to be answered. Next, we'll continue with drafting of test items. Then short answer question type 1 and type 2. Okay, our open-ended question. Now the student will get a freedom to write a little bit. Okay, our open-ended questions and request students to create an answer. They are commonly used to assess. Okay, so our short answer question type 1 and type 2, which are generally of 2 marks and 3 marks. Okay, are open-ended questions. They are open-ended questions and require the students to create an answer. Okay, which helps us to get an answer. Now, they are commonly used to assess the basic knowledge, whether this basic knowledge and understanding and application of the basic knowledge and understanding. Okay, so this gives us an idea about whether they have really understood the knowledge, they have got the basics of the question, whether they have understood it or not, and whether they have gained some knowledge in it. Application of short answer questions may require complete, short, descriptive, or qualitative answers. Now, this application of short answer questions, which will help to require to give a short description of a particular matter that the students have studied and to give a qualitative answer. The quality of the answer will also be determined from here. Diagrams with explanations, etc. are also required in these types of answers. Okay, children can draw diagrams, they can write explanations, and they can give it to us. These short answer questions are appropriate in measuring a student's understanding of the principles or the ability to solve the problem. We generally teach a particular principle, we generally teach a particular method, we teach a particular system. And when we ask these short answer questions to write the answers within 20 words, within 30 words, then what we do? From there we get an idea that, okay, how much the student have understood the principles and whether they can apply those principles in their day-to-day learning. So short answer questions go beyond recall and recognition. Okay, it is beyond that also. You ma'am. Next one. Guidelines for developing very short answer questions and short answer. Please, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this particular slide. This is how we prepare. We should prepare questions, short answer question. The items of the questions, the items should be worded specifically and clearly. Respected teachers, if you expect a complete, concrete, clear-cut, specific answer from your student, then your question should also be specifically made. You just cannot expect to write anything on your question and ask for the best answers. So if you want a specific answer, make a specific question. No mistakes here and there, because students should not be allowed to guess the question when you are making a particular question. They should get a direct information from your question that this is what they have to supply in form of a response to your stimuli. The learning point should be 1 or 2. If you are asking a 1-mark question, if you are asking for a 2-mark question, try to limit the learning points that you want to know from the students within 1 or 2. Don't make them too lengthy and ask them for many ones. Once upon a time, with due respect to the good olden days, short answers used to have 5 to 7 points to be written and the marks were given in 1/3, 1/4, 1. No, it's not like that. That's not the proper way. If you are giving 2 marks, ask for 2 points only. If you are giving 1 point, 1 mark, ask for 1 point only. Time taken to write should be 2 to 5 minutes for these questions. This we have to teach the students before we conduct the examinations. Okay, let's see, it's a 2-mark question, it's a 3-mark question. So you should not spend too much on them. Just spend 2 to 5 minutes to write your answer. This has to be told before. But we should make the question that in such a way that much time only they will utilize. Okay. Avoid copying statements verbatims as basis of for items. Okay, don't try to copy the words directly from the textbook and make a question. Sometimes we have to do it, but try to avoid them as much as possible. Okay. In computation of items, place the blank near or at the end of the statement. Suppose if you are making that, in the junior school we have this fill in the blanks question, or even in the senior school also we have fill in the blank. Now the experts are telling that if you want to make that type of question, either you place the blank at the beginning or at the end of a statement to get the complete question. Putting it in between here, there, the very essence of the question goes away. That's not the proper way again. And use one or two blanks. Don't use too many blanks in this fill in the blanks and all these things. Standardize the length of the blank. This is important. Standardize the length of the blank. See, respected teachers, we have to be very, very practical in our thing. We are making a question. It's not that for the heck of making it, we'll do it. Now, suppose you want to make, you are giving fill in the blanks question, and the answer is of only 2 words. Now, if the answer is of only 2 words, you just cannot give a big blank over there, and so the student is a big blank to let the student guess. If it is a 2-word letter, it's a 2-letter word, make a small, draw the blank in such a that it would look that only a small word will fit over there. If it is a long word with many letters, then make the blank also long. In length of the blank should be long, so that the student will get an idea. No, this particular answer needs a long word. Suppose if I am if I am writing an answer something like this, that Sachin Tendulkar was a swashbuckling batsman. The swashbuckling, my goodness, such a big word. SWAS buck BUCKLING swashbuckling. So then I must place the blank also that big. At least the student should get an idea that no, it's a big word. This is how we have to make the questions. Quickly, once again, items should be worded specifically. Be very clear-cut, specific with your words. No mistakes in spellings, grammar, or whatever. If it is a 1-mark question, ask for 1 point. If it is a 2-mark question, ask for 2 points. If it is a 3-mark question, 3 points, not more than that. Okay, I mean, even if it is within the sentence. Time taken that should be taught to the children, that 2-mark question, 3-mark question, where 2 to 5 minutes should be spent, not more than that. Try to avoid statements directly from the items, from the text for making the items. If it is a blank, if it is fill in the blanks or something like that, then either put the blank in the front or put the blank at the end. Don't put in between too much, and use 1 or 2 blanks, not more than that. Otherwise, the very essence of the answer will go away, and the length of the blanks should be appropriate to the answer that you are asking for. These are some of the ways by which, of course, there are plenty more out there. You have your own style also, but this is the specific one. These are the specific which CBSE is also telling us to do. Drafting long. This is interesting. Okay, drafting long answer questions. How to do this? Here the students have freedom, respected teachers. And you have to give that freedom. The long answer question requires a written response. Total complete response, which is sustained form of writing. They will go on writing on and on and on. A sustained form of writing. The learner is allowed to have the freedom. The learner is allowed to have the freedom to respect his question and write the answer. With respect to wording, length, organization of the answer, the learner has the freedom to do this. But yes, we should also, while making the question, we should make this thing that within how many words they will write, how much time it should be taken and all. Okay. Length of the answer. A distinction should be made between long answer question used to measure knowledge and long answer question to test writing skills in languages, which is called writing task. This is a spelling mistake over here. It should be TASK. It should not be TUSK. Okay, now see, when you are writing a long answer question, please pay attention a little bit over. Suppose if you are asking for a science answer, and if you expect that the answer will be garnished with a lot of good adjectives and decorative words and all, then I don't think it is that much necessary. Okay. But if we are testing the knowledge of the language, like for example, a Hindi test or a English test, if you are conducting, or any other language where the very essence of the test is the ornamentation of the answer, then of course we want their writing skills to be different. But for a physics answer, for a chemistry answer, at least for a biology answer also, don't always expect that a very well garnished long answer will come. Simple words can be used over there. But languages, even to a certain extent, social studies also, writing skills are necessary in order to make elaboration of the answer. So this is how we make long answer questions. Okay, we should write, ask the children to write. Long answer questions should begin with such terms as you can start the question in this way. Support. Okay, like say for example, a social study question can come like this. Support the statement that Aurangzeb was responsible for the downfall of the Mughal Empire. We can make a question like that. Support the statement Aurangzeb was responsible for the downfall of the Mughal Empire. And within 50 to 60 words, maybe 100 words, the student can write beautiful answer describing each and every step that Aurangzeb took, due to which the Mughal Empire failed, or at least started to fail. Then we can use the words like justify. Justify the statement that human circulation is double circulation. And the student will write detailed study about why human circulation is called double circulation, what are the how it takes place, like blood coming from lungs to the heart, from heart it goes to various parts of the body, from various parts of the body back to, and so on and so forth. Okay. We can also ask the question, evaluate the terms, analyze this, compare, contrast, describe. These are some of the words by which you can start. You can start the question. But many more ways of starting the question. But I will request all of you, start the question with a bang, so that the students will get that feeling to give a great answer to you. Okay, right. So let's move forward. Guidelines for long answer questions. How long answer questions should be made? Like, the question should consist of the application of the essential knowledge to the new situations. The question that you are saying, it should be very specific. It should consist of application of the essential knowledge you have taught. That knowledge should be used in this new situation. Okay. The question should present a clear and focused task to the students. The question should be so clear cut that you can't just expect that the student will guess the question. No, you're not allowed to do that. Your question should be very specific. The question should present a clear and focused task to the students. Specify the students the desired length, time, and the limit to evaluate and evaluative criteria. We have to write very clearly, okay, you 5 marks for this question. Okay, that is the evaluative criteria. Marks will be deducted for missing this, so on and so forth. The question should be written in the linguistic level of the students. Yes. If you are preparing the question for a class 5 student, you have to understand how much that particular language in which you are asking the question, how much that language the student understands. The majority of the students, according to that level of their understanding, their linguistic level, you have to write the question. You can't expect to write a question for a class 10 student in the language which is generally used for the master degree students. No, never. According to their linguistic level. The question may be set to test such abilities which can't be tested by any other type of questions. Yes. The question that you are asking over here, the item that you are asking over, it should test only that ability which can't be tested by any other type of questions. Not by 1 mark question, not by 2 mark question, not by short. These are the boss questions, and they have their own ways of doing things. The question should not be a combination of 4 or 5 short answers. Yes, sometimes, respected teachers, I will tell you, there is also a habit among ourselves, which we in this part of the country called Fakibaji in our teaching. Is what do we do? Sometimes we just join 3, 4 short questions together and make a big question. No, that's a sin. That's a sin. SIN, sin, ये एक पाप है. आप एक ही क्वेश्चन पूछिए, उसका ऊपर ही सब कुछ डिटरमाइन होगा. 5, 6, 7 छोटा मोटा क्वेश्चन एक साथ जोड़ के बोल दे चलो ये एक बड़ा क्वेश्चन हो गया. ऐसा नहीं होता है और करना भी नहीं चाहिए. Objective type question. Next we come to objective, correct? Because now 40% of the question paper will be objective types only. Objective type test items are the items which are scored, which can be scored objectively, and on which a student selects response from a list of options. These may be divided into alternative response type. No, objective is straightforward. We need to get that. So there may be this alternative response type, matching type, match the following we say, no? Multiple choice questions, sometimes fill in the blank, sometimes alternative. In English, we have this for CBSE, you will see the grammar part where we have alternative response. Either this or that we have to put. So these are objective type questions. Matching type and multiple type choice questions are also there. And multiple choice MCQs are the most powerful of. MCQs are the most powerful of all the objective type items. Okay, they are the most powerful. And they are back with a bang. All types of competitive examinations throughout the country, even in the world, MCQs are used. In this question, there is a stem which poses the problem. The main part of the question, the body of the question by which we are asking the question, this is known as stem. I think many of you know this, which poses the problem. The stem may be in question form. It can be either a question directly or an incomplete statement. Okay, you understand incomplete statement? That means we have a blank somewhere over there, which will be as the answer. So there are 3 to 5 choices given for an answer. Generally, 4 is the best one. Okay. Sometimes in some MCQs you will get 3 choices, 5 choices, but very common is very common is the one with 4 choices. And the student has to select the one from the given ones. Okay. This is how we go for MCQs. Guidelines for preparing good MCQs. How can we prepare a good MCQ? What are the guidelines? First of all, be sure that the stem formulates a problem. Be sure that the stem, it should formulate a problem. The stem means the body of the question. The question that the stem that you are using or you are preparing, it should formulate a problem. Problem is the question should be. And it should be worded so that the examinee clearly understand the question. The stem should be worded properly with complete grammar, correct grammar, correct spellings, punctuation marks, so that the examinee can clearly understand the question again and again. I am repeating one thing, and that is you just can't expect the student to guess the question. We just cannot expect that. So the what is to clearly understand the question being asked before he or she reads the answer. Okay. Sometimes the children directly go to the answer in the MCQ, which is also taught in the wrong way. So first let them understand the question. The stem should be written in direct question form or incomplete statement. Beginning also it can be a direct question or it can be an incomplete one. The stem of the item should present only one problem. 2 concepts must not be combined together to form a single stem. Yes, we have a habit of this also. We join this, that, and we try to make it a question. The stem, the problem, the question, whatever you call it, should have only one thing. One problem should be asked. Not 2 concepts or 2 different problems should be joined together. It should not be like this. Unnecessary words and phrases should not be included in the stem. Those which are not needed, those which are useless, those which has no relevance to the question should be avoided. Sometimes they ask questions like the force by which the atoms are joined is called James Bond force, because James Bond has that force. That this type of questions I have seen, all irrelevant questions. No, it should be clear cut. Okay. Unnecessary words and phrases should not be used. Use novel material in formulating problems to measure understanding or ability to apply the principles. Use novel material, good quality words. The matter from which you want to make the question should be of very much use in the teaching learning process. Make questions in that way. Do not focus too closely on rote memory of the text that neglects measurement or the ability of the used information. Yes, we are slowly moving away from that rote learning. So don't make questions which are like rote memory type. That's why nowadays you'll find that in MCQs, those dates and years, we are slowly removing, because that goes for the rote learning. Instead, we are trying to make innovative questions in a different way, which will compel the students to study deeply and come out with answers, come out with the application of the principles. The correct answer should appear at each position and not at a particular position. Yes. Sometimes, what we do for our own sake, in order to make corrections more easy for us, we make the MCQs and we keep the same position as the correct answer. Means A to all A's are the correct answers. And this will give the students the benefit of understanding the sequence. Today's children are very, very clever. They are very intelligent. If they find that two consecutive answers are in the same position, they will guess it that rest of the answers are most of the answers in the same position. So please don't do that. That is again sheer negligence towards work. If the answer to the first question is A, it is better to have the next one as D or C or E, so on and so forth. It should go in a zigzag way, not in a single sequence. That's not the right practice. So once you go for all this, once you have done all this, then you garnish them properly, put them on the paper and place it in front of the students so that they will give the examination. Their achievement test will be a real achievement test. And the very purpose of coming to the school, the very purpose of learning, the very purpose of retaining will be there for it. Short and sweet one. But if you remember it, respected teachers, definitely I'm sure whatever ideas you have today, you have gained at least 2% more than your previous ideas. With this, we come to the end of this session about how to write drafting test items and all. And there is my email ID, jitsensen1@gmail.com. My phone numbers are also given. If you think that a few more things can be added to it, you are most welcome. And I will definitely add whatever you want to say. And if you can write to me also, you can talk to me also. My phone is open till 8:30 p.m. After the is closed. Himanshu sir, with this we have come to the end of the session, sir.
Very nice session, sir.
Thank you,
Our
sir.
president ma'am is also connected here.
Oh,
Radhika ma'am. Now, but before ma'am comes.
Good afternoon, sir. It's what a wonderful session, because many candidates are written praised a lot. Really, we are blessed with the RP like you are all joining with us. Thank you. Now,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Himanshu sir, because he's a coordinator of the training. He is also arranging, and such topic has been taken. It's really useful and for the teachers inside and even the outside the classroom too. Now, it's a message to all the participants. You are requested to, while filling up attendance sheet, kindly write the correct name through which your registration has been done. As Himanshu said, the beginning said same way, attendance sheet and the questionnaire also there, sir?
Yeah.
Questionnaire, because from this you have to qualify. You can get the certificate only if you have 40% of marks if you are secure. If you are not securing 40% of mark, then certificate will not be issued. Please listen carefully. Don't leave the meeting now. First thing, capital letters, kindly write your name correctly. And your attendance, you will get the certificates under these criteria only. Registration must be done by the STNC or the principal of your school. Second, you must complete 40 minutes of training. At least you have to minimum of 40 minutes, because this session has went more than one hour. So 40 minutes minimum. Third, 40% of marks to be secured. And the correct, when we are tallying, suppose registered name is something and the attendance name is something different, then certificate will not be issued, or you will be getting the certificate after getting all these documents. By 2 days it will take, and then we will issue the certificates. Within 4 or 5 days the certificates will be sent. And thank you to Himanshu sir and Surjit sir for the wonderful session, conducting wonderful session, and to all the participants joining the.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Surjit sir.
Thank you, sir.
all
Thank
the
you very much.
participants. Thank you all the participants and their principals, STNCs, everyone. And finally, once more, Surjit sir, it's been really a very, very learning session again. And we'll reconnect with you again.
Definitely, sir. I'm there always for you, sir. I'm there always for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you. It's a wonderful
Thank you,
session.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Attendance link, how ask everybody to, otherwise again we had to send it. Before that, let them to complete the attendance.